Hello everyone, I'm going to do a quick get ready with me. I was planning on curling my hair, but I decided I didn't want to curl my hair today. I just wanted to pull it up, and I've been obsessed with these little headscarves and wearing them in my hair all different ways, so I just threw that on. I have already washed my face and I've applied my moisturizer and any eye creams that I use, so I'm just going to dive in. First I'm going to set my face with the NARS Pore and Shine Control Primer. It comes in a white tube like this. This is amazing. I love it. I use a lot of primer just because I have a lot of deep acne scars that I am working on bringing up to an even, like making them even with my skin tone. So I use quite a bit to fill them in. I've noticed that when I use a little bit more of this, it fills in more of my scars, but more of my smaller scars, so they don't look as, my skin doesn't look as porous. So I just work this into the skin, really focusing right above my eyebrows. I have some acne scarring there, and then I have some pores throughout here. But then really on my cheeks, especially like right in here, if you've ever gotten like a really good look at my skin, I have some, like, I'll show you one right here, like this bump right here that you can kind of see. So that's actually not a zit, it's a scar tissue bump. I guess that's the best way to describe it. That's how my dermatologist described it to me. That is in my skin. And she gave me a shot of something that would make it go down, and it definitely decreased it, but there's a lot more, excuse me, and they look like bigger, just like really big weird scar acne bumps on my chin, so I try to cover in all of that as much as I can. And then I also use the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. This, oldie but a goodie. I think I started using this when I was like 15 or 16. But I like to use it in those areas just as extra. I have a few like bottom dimples, which is like what I call like little scar, like that one right there. You can kind of see it above my, and I have one like right in here. I don't know what those are from. I'm assuming acne popping stuff. But yeah, I just like to fill it all in my cheek areas, in my chin especially. And I also have a couple little scars like right in here, but just because that's something that I like to cover up. I have been on a Diet Dr. Pepper kick lately, and I really need to stop because I go through and I get a large like every other day. Next I'm going to use the Huda Beauty, what is this? It's the Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation. I am in shade 110N Angel Food. I don't know if you can read that. You probably can't. But it's amazing. This is the best full coverage foundation I've ever used. Huda Beauty is amazing. I love all of her products. She's one of the only brands that I have found that I like don't... Like, I have nothing bad to say. Nothing bad to say. I love it all. But I just, like, do this. I don't know. I just like putting it directly. And then I literally wipe, like, what's sticking on the pump on my face. Sometimes I go in with a beauty blender. Sometimes I go in with a brush. Today I'm going to go in with the Morphe M439 foundation brush. I'm pretty sure it's a kabuki brush. This brush is amazing. I love it. I want to say Jaclyn Hill, probably Jaclyn Hill, because she's one of my favorites. She is my favorite. Sometimes she's a little bit extra, and I tell her, like, it's like I talk to her, I don't, but, I tell her that I just, like, can't handle her. I'm like, you're too much for me. Some of you are probably like, what is she doing with her face? I promise you it gets better fixed. Then I'm going to take my beauty blender. I use the Morphe Beauty Blender. I love Morphe. They're another brand that I just can't get enough of. I have something. I didn't take off my makeup last night when I came home. I had every intention to. I know that some of you are going to be like, how dare you? But I like I usually take my makeup off every night, but I was so tired when I got home last night that I just got into bed and I was talking to Miles and on the phone. We don't stay the night with each other. I was talking on the phone to Miles and I fell asleep and he said that I was out. He said I didn't say anything and he was like, Bailey, hey Bailey, and I was like, yeah, and he goes, are you tired? And I was like, no. And he goes, do you want me to let you go to bed? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay. And then he said another probably like 10-15 minutes went by and I didn't say anything. And he was like, hey Bailey, I'm gonna let you go. And I was like, no. And he was like, okay. And he was just kind of like talking and I didn't say anything back. And so he was like he knew I was falling asleep. And so he finally was like, hey Bailey, do you want me to let you go? And I was like, mm-hmm. Which happens all the time with us. I think it's because he lives in Tulsa and I live in Skiatook that we don't get to hang out as much as we would like to. But so we talk on the phone like all the time. After I blend it in, I go in with my concealer and I mix two concealers. I mix the new Morphe concealer. If you haven't tried the new Morphe concealers or foundations, I highly recommend. Excuse me, I have the worst hiccups today. I don't know what it's from either. Probably all the freaking pop I've been drinking. But the worst hiccups. I woke up, like that's what woke me up this morning was I had a hiccup. But the new Morphe foundation and concealers, so good for a quote-unquote drugstore brand. I don't really consider Morphe high-end, but I also don't consider it drugstore. I guess I'd consider it more of an expensive drugstore brand, but they work really good. And I mix that with Tarte Shape Tape Concealer for just an everyday look. If I'm wanting to go more glam, like last night Miles and I went on a date, and I wanted a very, very full coverage glam look, and so I used only Shape Tape, and I love it. They're both amazing, but the Shape Tape is very, very full coverage, which if you're like me, you love it. I'm almost out of this, so I'm actually going to use this little brush. I don't know what this brush is. I don't know what brand it is. It's very small, like it's like the sucker down in there, and I actually took out the stopper thing because there's a lot left in here still, and I've been using this for weeks. Like, weeks. Like, look how much just came out, and I just stuck it in there. But I just kind of, like, drag it down and then bring it up. It's gonna look better. Like, I know that some of you are probably like, what on earth are you doing? The reason I have this in my lap, oh, and in this, I'm in shade Fair. I use shade Fair in the Tarte Shape Tape, but I have this rag in my lap because I get makeup all over my outfits, and I also clean my brushes as I go. So if you see me pick it up, and it's a nasty stained makeup rag, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm cleaning off my stuff. And then I go in with the Morphe concealer, and I am C135. I think that's the shade this is. I don't know. It doesn't say, and I don't even know like what this concealer is called. It's just the Morphe concealer. But then I drag this on the inside just right here, and that is enough to cover everything. Everything that I want to cover. Sometimes I have a little bit more redness in my chin. Not this morning, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But this morning I don't, so I'm going to go back in with now the angled portion of the brush. The sponge. I really like this just because it is flat. Like, it is flat, and you can just like really like press it up in there. And I just like it. I don't know, I just like it for that. And I can kind of get it in my nose, like right in my crease right here. And I also bring it up onto my eyelid. feel like I have to talk 24/7 because I'm not going to, like, I don't know, like, make this a very, and then, like, what I do with this is I just kind of, like, drag it down in to match my foundation, and I just blend it out. That way there's not, like, a hard line here, because a lot of times you can actually see, like, a very definite, like, triangle, and I don't like that look on myself. I see some girls rock it, and I will try it, and I'm like, yes, like, you're gonna be able to tell. But I think with just how often I self-tan, and also in the summertime, I can get dark if I'm out in the sun. And so, like, with as often as my, like, skin tone changes, I don't think that it looks good on me, just because some days I'm more red, some days I'm more tan, some days I'm vampire pale like I am today. This girl in the bathroom last night at the movie theater accidentally actually complimented me on how pale my skin was. She told me that I looked like a vampire. But she was super sweet about it. She was like, you have such pale skin. And she was like, it reminds me of Rosalie from Twilight. And I was like, well, she's gorgeous, so compliment received. And she was like, I've always wanted super pale skin, but I can't have it. And she was like, I'm so jealous of you. And she also told me never. Like an everyday look, I'm actually real quick gonna put on my eye primer because it's a liquid primer. I use the Morphe eyeshadow primer. Very, very, very comparable to the Urban Decay one that's, you know, like the purple one, has like the pointed, like Taj Mahal looking lid. Like almost the same thing. I can say that this does crease if I sleep in my makeup, where Urban Decay doesn't, but like that's the only thing. So unless you're like wearing the same makeup all the time, I don't know, it shouldn't be like that big of a deal. And it's a lot cheaper. The Morphe one is tons cheaper. That's why I get it. I'm also not like the biggest fan of Urban Decay. Like all of Urban Decay, like hands down the best setting spray. Other than that, they have really good palettes. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love me some Naked palettes. I'm actually going to use 2 Urban Decay palettes today. And then I kind of take my Beauty Blender just to kind of finish blending it out, because it's really easy to get a lot of eyeshadow primer on your skin, and if you get too much, it will actually cause your skin to like, it'll actually cause your eyeshadow to clump regardless whether you set it. So I use the Makeup Revolution. I use the translucent baking powder, and then I also use this is the banana shade. I've had it for a while. I'm pretty sure this is banana. And then I also have the white one. I don't use the white one a lot unless I am really self-tan, like I'm really dark. I use this one more in the summertime, or occasionally, just like occasionally if I'm really dark under my under eyes or something like that. It's really good for darker complected people, mixing it with like a lighter foundation. Like I really like this because this is the perfect mix when I'm paler than this. I have a little bit of my self-tan still on, but not much. So I will go in with translucent, and what I do is I take it and dump it upside down, and I go like this. Like I just squeeze it into the, it actually is coming out, just not a lot because it's almost out. And you also want to be careful when you squeeze these, because like a ton of it will come out. Like if you squeeze it too hard, like see just those few, and it like filled up the cap. And this is probably where you guys are going to be like, what the heck are you doing? But bear with me, I promise. Where did I put that? Right here. So I get the, I'll go in with translucent first. So I get the lid, and then I take the flat side of my Beauty Blender, and I literally just stuff it in there. And then it gets a little bit of the product on, and then I start to just do that. That's what I do. which the banana shade is, it's like a little bit darker than my powder color when I'm at my fairest. So I would say if you're extremely fair, like I can be naturally, you know, like if you're vampire fair, I would recommend mixing this one with the white one. Now the white one is very much similar to, they're very similar to Ben Nye. If you don't know anything about Ben Nye, he is a costume makeup guy. Amazing, not the science guy, that's Bill. This is Ben Nye. I mean, amazing products. Like Ben Nye makeup is great for costume makeup, especially for yourself if you like if you get really into makeup for Halloween. I help with it's called The Nightmare, but it's a Halloween production, and they use it, and people always come through who are like makeup artists, and they're like, wow, the quality of makeup is actually really good. It's partially the makeup, but it's like 95% the talent. Makeup girls are awesome, but sometimes your skills can only be as good as what your makeup is. But I'm definitely just pushing all this into my skin. But they're very similar to Ben Nye, and the white one is definitely similar to Clown White. If you know what Clown White is, it is a white powder that you put on clowns. Like, it's Clown White is what it is. That is exactly what this white powder is. It's Clown White. So on very, very pale people, a light layer of it is good enough for under eye setting, especially if you want to cover up dark circles. I prefer to cover up my dark circles with cream, but I know that some people don't like cream makeup. I'm more partial to powder just because I don't like cream contour and highlighting, except for my under eye area. That's the only area I use it in. So I am continuing to push this in. And I did mix just a smidge of the white in. I mean, I literally just a little, maybe not even like a little, like more like a, you know. But I am just setting this all over my face, and then I go in, do my eyeshadow. So I get a brush. This is the IT Cosmetics Airbrush Foundation Brush, and I just dip a little bit of it in that tan color, the banana powder. And I put it on my eye. You can't really see what I'm doing, but that's what I'm doing. Just like pressing a little bit of it in to set my, I am setting my eyeshadow primer. If you can hear people talking, it's because my parents just got home and my mom is like yelling at my dad from another room. Okay, so now that they're set, I'm going to finish letting this bake. I actually need to fix this real quick. And it's okay to mix your products on your beauty blender. That's a question I get asked a lot when people watch me do my makeup. They're like, how do you mix your products? I don't know how it works with these guys. I don't know the science behind this technology. All I know is that you need to get a good quality beauty blender to go in with the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I love this palette. I don't know, oh, the shades are in here. And then I'm going to go in with Stark, that is this shade right here, that one. And I am going to get I'm going to use this brush. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. It's the one that came with the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to use the fluffy end, or the blending end. Just going to get a little bit on there, tap off some excess, and then I am going to just start working this into my crease. I have slightly hooded eyes, so I have to be real careful not to raise my eyebrows, because so like this is my face, obviously, but when I raise my eyebrows, see how it like expands that skin? Well, when you close your eye, you're like this, my eye is hooded. When I go like that, it takes the hood away, and your makeup will look a lot different if you raise your eyebrows when you do your eyeshadow. It will, unless you do your makeup to fit you raising your eyebrows, it gets crazy. But I am just working this in. I do, however, raise my eyebrows at times, but sometimes I like really relax. Like I'm really relaxed right now and it looks weird. It doesn't even look like I'm putting on makeup, but I can assure you I am. I need to clean off this mirror. Oh, it has hairspray on it. Just working that in there. I'm really nervous about this. And I take it in my crease and then I move upward towards my brow bone. Sometimes what I like to do before I even start is I like to take a spoolie. Not that brush. My makeup is everywhere because I took my makeup to Miles's house last night to do my makeup before we went out. And I will actually do my eyebrows how I will do them when I go to fill them in, so that I know how I want to blend my eyeshadow out. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Usually on like an everyday look, when it's like not as like when I don't want to be as like particular, I won't do that. Okay, so that is what I do first. I am now going to get a new palette. I have been obsessed with this palette. It is by Revolution, Makeup Revolution London. It's the Soph X palette. It is gorgeous. There's 24 shades in here, and this palette is $15 at Ulta. It is amazing, and I keep this thing just because this is what has all the colors on it. And I want to know what colors I'm using. And my favorite color in this entire palette, well, I have a lot of them, but like my favorite color is this shade. It's called Peaches, and it's definitely not like peachy. It's like more of a mauvey peach, and I love it. Love it. It's one of my favorites. So I'm going to grab a new blending brush, and it is a Morphe brush. This is my favorite blending brush to date. It's the Morphe M504, like a tapered end. It works so good. I've only used it like 4 times. I bought it a couple weeks ago, and I only wore makeup 4 days in February, which was improvement for me because I usually don't go anywhere without makeup. But I'm just going to dip it into Peaches, get a little bit on there, all over the brush, tap off a little bit of excess, and then I went back in a second time and tapped it off, and then I'm just going to go back into that crease and add it in there. I really like some peachy tones, like peachy sandy tones, just because I think it gives your eye that natural pinky look to your eyelid. I have very pink eyelids naturally. Miles actually, when I'm like, I don't promise I don't have any makeup on, he's like, no, I can tell you do because you have pink on your eyelids. And I'm like, it's my natural eye. But I like that look. I like it to be like a little bit pinky. And this brush, you guys, it's so soft. So soft. Just go up towards my brow a little bit. They don't always match, so I try to get them to match. So now I'm done with that. And I am going to go in with 2 different shades here. I'm about to go back to this palette, but I am done with the Gwen Stefani palette. And I am going to go in with an oldie but a goodie, Naked Basics. Like, I think I've hit pan. See, like, look at this. So sad. So sad. That's my light. Like, this is my get up right now. Literally, okay, I'll show you this. It's in my lipstick thing. How funny is that? But, this is, probably don't have any colors, but that is what mine looks like. But I am going to go in with Foxy. That is my first shade, but the second shade that should be in the palette. And I am going to use this brush. I do not know this one is e.l.f. for sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the e.l.f. Professional Eyeshadow Brush. Like this. I'm going to use 2 of these brushes today. This one is the better one of the 2. Don't know the brand. Don't know where I got it. I'm pretty sure I got it in an Ipsy, but I don't know. But I take care of this one because it's my favorite. But I'm going to take the eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. and use Foxy. And I tap off as much as possible. But I do it just to go in and lighten this up a little bit because I'm going to take a more sparkly color. I'm pretty sure the color I'm going to use is called Champagne. And I want to just kind of like take away the reddish, the red tone from like the pink and peach that I created. And I want to make a really nice foundational color for the color that I'm about to put on my eyelid. Okay, so done with that. Now I'm going to go back into the Soph X palette, and it is called Pink Champagne. It is this one right here. It is such a pretty color. I love it. I wear this one a lot. But I just dab it in there. I usually use like a setting spray on this, but I just didn't want to today. Sometimes when I use sparkly eyeshadows with like I spray Fix Plus or something on it, it makes my eye itch. Does anyone else experience that? I can say these aren't like as pigmented as the Stila foil shadows, but also those shadows are way more than this whole palette is. It's one color, it's way more than this whole palette is. So then I'm going to go back in with like a little bit of the peaches again, just like a little bit, and I'm going to kind of like blend that out because a little bit of that shimmer does get into the crease, and I don't want a shimmer crease. That's why you wash your brushes. Bailey, Parker, you need to learn to wash your brushes more. But those are my eyes. After I fill in my brows, I will go back in and do, and once I like dust all this off, I will do an inner corner highlight and a brow highlight. So I'm going to go ahead and dust this off, and I literally just take this brush and dust it away. Really blending it in, I guess you could say. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. I use the Becca Paint Pot. I don't know what it's called, actually. Shadow and Light Mousse Contour. This. It's a cute little thing. This, I bought it in September, and it's lasted me this long, and I use it almost every single day. I never use the pink side. I've used it twice. I don't like it. Don't want to use it. Yeah, I just don't like it. But I use the shade Mocha. I used to have extremely dark eyebrows. They are pretty darker for a redhead, but as I get older, they're getting more red in it, which is a good sign. I have been told that redheads whose hair like turns to more of like an auburn color in their 30s and 40s, they see the change in their eyebrows in their 20s, and their eyebrows started going dark. My eyebrows used to be dark and are now getting lighter, so I think that's a good sign. But I will go back in with a little spoolie. Find one that works good for you. I know everyone loves a different one. I like a big fat one because I have big fat eyebrows. And just gets them good. So then I have the product on there. I get like a little bit and just like wipe it off. And then I start like right here. I don't know why I start right here, but I do. And I think it's because I like to work my brow from like right here into this. And I am just lightly doing this. I like my eyebrows to look more natural, so I leave a lot of gaps. I know that doesn't look very natural right now, but when I'm done, it will. I'll probably edit most of this out anyways. And then I basically go back in and just hit touching details. Like touch them up here and there. That's what I wouldn't be me without my brows, and they get a lot better once I do my lashes. So that is my brows. Now I am going to go in with this little brush. It's called Echo Tools. That's this brand who does like these bamboo ones. But I don't know what brush this is. It's like a little tiny brush. I'm gonna have to edit all of my hiccups out. But I go back in with, it's called Fairy Lights from this palette. It's this one next to Pink Champagne. I love this one. It reminds me a lot of the first two shades in the Jaclyn Hill palette, which I love, love, love. I also do everyday makeup looks with that one. This one is just more like a quick one. And then I do my inner corner. There are also not very many rolls to make up. Like, I'm being serious. Like, I'm not like a big technique person. Like, I admire makeup art, like actual like certified, went to school for it makeup artists. But my belief is like if you can get the same result or better result as a self-taught anyway, like it's just as valid. That's my thoughts. But then my eyes are almost done. All I have to do is do mascara. Some days I will take this shade. It's called Strawberries. Or Strawberry Sweet. It's this pinky one right here, and I will take that on my, I'll just go ahead and do it to show you guys. I will dust this. I'll take the other end of that Anastasia brush, so we use this end to blend, and I'm going to use this end. Get a little bit of that. Just to bring like a little bit more, I'm going to have to take a picture of this for you guys. Oh crap. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. Okay. And then I've put that on my lower lash line. But I go in, I mix these, the pan, the one that I've hit pan on, and then the middle one. This is a e.l.f. angled brush, and y'all are probably gonna think like this is the weirdest way you've ever seen, but I do a little bit of contouring and bronzing like with these products, with this product, but with these two colors, and I literally just dance around my face. Just dance around. And I have to have like a bronzy contour. I just have to, like, on my skin, I have to have it. I haven't quite figured out like the best way to get my nose contour, and then I take like the tip of the brush, like this tip, and I dip it in this second one, and I take it right there to give my lip more of a pout. And then I also take another brush, that is, I probably won't be able to find it. Oh, here it is. It's another e.l.f. brush. e.l.f. has really good brushes. This contour brush, I take that medium shade and I go right in between my Cupid's bow, because when I highlight later, see, it makes it look a little bit more defined. But now I take back to this brush and I blend it all out. Messed up my eyebrows a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the same brush, and I'm going to just do the lighter shade, and this is how I contour my nose, because I'm very wide right here on my nose, so I like to make it darker to slim it. And then this part, I just kind of make it work for myself. Like, I just kind of do whatever I want, feel like I need to do to get it to blend better. Like I said, like, I haven't found the best technique for this yet. This is just what I do. It's the best one I found yet. The one I like the most. I see YouTubers do it, and I just, like, I don't like the way, like, I don't like doing that way. It just doesn't look as good on me. It's probably the way I'm doing it, like I can't do it right or something. But after that, I take the highlighter I'm using. So this is a dupe for Becca Cosmetics. It's Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petals. It's so pretty. It's a dupe for Champagne Pop from Becca. I just get a brush. This is by Luxie. It's the 522 tapered highlighter brush. It's not purple. I'm pretty sure the purple and rose gold was limited edition. But that's what I use for an everyday look. I just put this on my cheekbones and a little bit on my cheek, because I like being able to see it a little bit when people look at me, or when I slightly turn my head. And then I will, the tip of my nose. I know that people are like, highlighting your nose isn't popular anymore, but I say screw it, just do it if you like it. then I sometimes put a little bit on my chin. If it's a really, really cold day, I actually won't highlight my nose. I will put blush on my nose to give me that like little rosy blush. So I'm going to mix two blushes. I'm going to, I love this blush, but I hate the name. It's by NARS. It's the Big O. That's what I'm going to call it. The Big O. I just take this brush. This was like some limited edition brush from Glamour Dolls, and it was like a Lisa Frank thing, like bringing Lisa Frank back, and that's why I got it, because I loved Lisa Frank as a kid. But I just put it on my cheeks, one layer, and then I go back in with the same brush with this blush. It's Rosé All Day by Steve Laurent, and I don't know where you can get this. I got it. It was given to me from an Ipsy. I really like a good pinky blush. A ton on my upper lid, but on my lower, like right here, I do use eyeliner. I use the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Gel Pencil Liner. I like it. I think it's amazing, and it stays all day. I use waterproof, and it stays all day. So I literally just put this and it makes, like, you can already see the definition in my eye. Like, I'm pretty sure I posted a picture and I put it in my makeup, my makeup highlight reel. Is it called a reel? I don't know. My makeup highlight on my Instagram, about like the difference in definition it makes. So I use the Voluminous Lash Paradise. This is the dupe for Better Than Sex, but I use the Voluminous Lash Paradise by Maybelline. It is a dupe for the Better Than Sex by, who does that? Too Faced. And it is more dry. It's not as oily. And what I mean by dry is it doesn't dry out quickly. It's just more of a drier product than it is oily product. I use waterproof, but it's amazing. It works so good. Now I'm going to go in with my favorite lip product currently. It's just like really nice to have this product. I love it. I think it is amazing, hands down. It is Super Stay 24 Color by Maybelline New York. It's like one of the colors, and then it has like this little end. I love this product, you guys. It is like, I would say it doesn't stay on as long as Lip Sense if you're a Lip Sense user, but it's not near as drying. I love Lip Sense, but I love this for an everyday. And I just think it goes so well with this makeup look. I had a clip in my mouth yesterday. I don't know how it happened, but somehow it like, the clip moved and it clipped this side of my upper lip. It's bad, y'all. It's like cut up the inside of my mouth. I mean, even the bottom on some spots, it's like cut open. Okay, now you take the other end and they're all gonna look this nasty. You like can't keep them clean. And there you have it. This is my finished makeup look. I'll post a picture, and yeah, so this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.